Hello everyone. So we will continue our course. So today we will be discussing how to define the materials and section properties in E-types software. So in the last class we have completed how to do the preliminary sizing of different structural members such as slab, beams and columns. So today we will be doing the initial part of the modeling of your structure in E-types software. So let's start the E-types. So I am using ETABS 2016 for modeling, but when we are doing the analysis of structures, so I'll be using ETABS 2018 because 2016 and the IS codes are not updated. So we will be using the latest code. So that is why we will be performing our analysis in ETABS 2018. So if you have two version of ETABS 2016 and 2018. So if you are doing the modeling in ETABS 2006, you can open that model in the higher version easily. Okay, and in fact, there is no difference in the modeling, the steps in the modeling. The interface is almost similar. The mainly changes are there in the code. So the codes are updated in the latest version. So we have to do the latest code if you are performing any uh, analysis. So it is the interface of ETABS software. So we have to start a new model. So for that we can go to file and then open new model. Now model initialization window will open up. So here we have to choose your unit system. So for that select use built-in settings with. So if you are opening your ETABS first time, you will be seeing these options. So you can see here display units US customary. If you keep your mouse here, you can see the what are the unit system is following in the US customary. So you can see everything is in feet and inch. So this unit system is not familiar for us. So we have to change this one into metric SI and steel section database Indian steel design code IS 800 2007, concrete design code IS 456 2000, then click OK. New model quick template window will open up. So you can use this one to create your grid lines. So to make the grid dimensions, we have two options. One is uniform grid spacing and next one is custom grid spacing. So if you look at our model, if you look at our beam column layout, the spacing of beams and columns are not at uniform spacing. So it is 4 meter, 4.5, 2.5 meter like that. That means we have to choose the custom grid spacing to make the grid lines. For that, select custom grid spacing, add structural object, select this option grid only, then go to edit grid data. So here we can give the name for the grid system. So let us give that is G plus 4. And then when you come to the grid data in plan, we can give the input in two ways. One is based on grid data as ordinate. Second one is the grid data as spacing. So now take the beam column layout, and here you can see that this is the beam column layout. So these are columns and all these lines are beams, and these are the two axes. So this is your x-axis and y-axis. So in ETAB also the x and y-axis that is in plan view, and z-axis will be along the elevation, and we will be taking this as our origin. We can make the various grids along x directions like this. So if you write the ordinate, this is the origin, so this is x equal to, this vertical line will be x equal to 0, this will be x equal to 4 meter, this will be x equal to 4 plus 4.5, 8.5 meter, Similarly, this is equal to 11, 15.5, and this is equal to 19.5. And similarly, we can make the horizontal grid lines along the y-axis. So this is equal to y equal to 0. It is y equal to 4 meter. It is y is equal to 8.5 meter. It is y is equal to 38 meter, and finally this is y is equal to 17 meter. So these are the various grid lines. So either you can use the spacing between the grid lines along x and y directions, or also you can use the x and y ordinate for the various grid lines. So this grid line we can call it is A, this grid line is B, this is C, D, E and F. Similarly, this is the grid lines we have. It is 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So now we will make this grids in ETABS. For that, come back to the grid system data and enter the grid ordinate. So A, the ordinate is x equal to 0. So x equal to 0. So here first you have to select the option. So I have taken the grid data as ordinate. So x A, the grid A, you can see here the grid lines A, B, C, D vertical, and 1, 2, 3, 4 the horizontal, and this is the origin. So A x equal to 0 and B, you can see x equal to 4 meter. It is equal to 4 meter, and C, you can see the grid 8.5, and D is 8.5 plus 2.5, that is 11 meter. So we need two more grid E and F, so we have to add. So next one is x equal 15.5 and then 19.5. So add, this is 15.5, and add one more, this 19.5. Okay, so now we got all the grid along x directions. Similarly, we can give the grid along y directions also. So y equal to 4, 8.5, 13 and 17. Four, 8.5, 13, 17. So these are the grids along y directions. So whatever we have given, that has been updated here, you can see. So now click on OK, and now we have to give the story dimensions. For that, we have again two inputs. Either you can choose simple story data, and otherwise you can choose the custom story data. So here we have to give the bottom story height, and then we have to give the typical story height. The typical story height is the height of the stories other than the bottom story height. So in ETABS, the simple story data is similar to the uniform grid spacing. If all the stories except the bottom story is equal, then we will be choosing these options. If the story's height is different, if story heights are different, then we have to choose the custom story data. So for our building, the ground floor height is 3 meter and all other stories are 3.35 meter. So that means we have to choose the custom story data, because our all the stories are not having the same height. So ground floor height is different, so we have to choose the custom story data. So in ETABS, we have to model one extra story, that is the bottom story. So columns of the ground story is going into the foundation to a depth of 2 meter. So that is why I have assumed the bottom story height or base story height as 2 meters. So generally for the design, we will take bottom story height or base story height is 1.5 to 2 meter. So we have taken as 2 meter. So in ETABS, the base is measured from the bottom face of the column foundation. So that depth we will be taking as bottom story. So that also we have to model. So finally, our building is G plus 4 buildings. So we have bottom story, then we have ground floor, then we have 4 upper stories. So total we have to model 6 stories. For a G plus 4 building, we have to model total 6 stories, including the bottom story height. So now let us understand what is bottom story height. So in ETABS, the base is measured from the bottom face of your foundation. This is the foundation, so this is the bottom face, and this is our plinth beam. So this is our plinth beam. So we are taking this height as 2 meter. Okay, and this may be the ground level. So here you can see a photograph of a real building construction. These are the plinth beams. You can see these are the plinth beams over the plinth. Okay, so the plinth beams are passing like this. So we have to model the plinth beam also in our ETABS model. So these are the foundations. It looks like isolated footings. So this column is continuing up to the foundations. So here we are providing the plinth beam. So we have to take that height as bottom story height or base story height. So these are the plinth beams passing. So up to the depth of foundations, we have to take the bottom story height. So it is another uh, drawing. So you can see this is the foundation level and this is the plinth level. So select custom story data and click on edit story data. So now this window will open up, and here you can enter the height of each story. So now let us understand the nomenclature of ETABS. So we have a G plus 4 building. So let us draw a 2D frame. Let us say this is the your foundation level, and this is my bottom story, and this is my ground floor. Then first, second, third, and fourth. This is my G plus 4 building. So total we will be having 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 stories. So this level is base level. This level in ETABS we will be calling story 1. This is story 2. This level is story 3, and this is story 4. This is story 5 and story 6. So the base story, so the bottom story height is 2 meter. The ground floor height is 3 meter, and all other stories are 3.35 meter. 3.35 meter. So the total height of building is 3.35 into 4 plus 3 plus 2 meter. So total height is 18.4 meter. So this story height we have to enter in ETABS. So here either you can enter the elevation directly or you can enter the height. So it is easy to enter the height of each stories. So story 1 can give 2 meters. Story 2 3 meter. Story 3 3.35 meter. Story 4 3.35 meter. So now we have to add two more stories. So we have only four stories now, so we need six stories in our model. We need six stories. So to add two more stories, you go to this arrow, right click and go to add story, keep existing story height. So here you can give the story height is 3.35 meter. Number of stories you have to add 2, and above story 4 from existing story 4. Okay. So now we got 6 stories. Here we can see two types of story, master story and similar story. So some of the stories we can keep as master story. So the remaining stories we can be similar to those stories. So that is the meaning of a master story. So here we have story 6. That is actually the roof level. So we can even change this naming also. Story 1, story 2. We can even change that floor 1, floor 2, floor 3 like that also. So let us change this story 6, that is the roof level. So we can change that name to roof. So the total height of building is 18.4 meter. So generally the loading on the roof slab will be different from all other slabs. So the roof slab may have a different loading, so we can keep that as a master story. Yes. Then we can keep any other story like story 5 or story 4 as master story, and let us keep reminding us no. Okay, so now we can see that these two are the master story in our building. That means these are the two typical stories we have, and all other stories are similar to these stories, either story 5 or roof. Okay, so we can so now we can make other stories are similar to story 5 or roof. So the story 4, here you can make it is similar to story. So now we can make story 4, which is similar to story 5, and story 3. All these stories are similar to story 5. Because the roof level loading is different, all other stories have same loading, so I can keep all the stories are similar to story 5. Only roof level is different, so roof is having the different loading, that is why. And then splice story, this data is currently not need, so we will not be doing this any changes here. So we can make change, we can easily edit the story data at any time. So if required, we will do the editing later on, and even you can change the color of the stories. So we can keep the roof is yellow color, so the remaining all you can change. So to change the color, is select and choose the color. Okay, let us keep it as blue. Okay, and this one also blue. So here you can see the story color also we have changed. The roof is a different so yellow color, and all others are in blue color. So base you can keep it in gray, so no need to change. So now you click OK. So again OK, just wait few seconds. So now we will get our complete grid line plan and elevation. We'll also get the 3D grid lines, using which we can make our models very easily. So here you can see the two windows. The one window is the plan view, and this window is the 3D view. So There we can have a three view. So one is plan, one is a 3D view, and we can also have the elevations. So if you want to see the elevations, we can change this view to the elevation. Suppose I want to change this 3D view to the elevation. For that, you click on this area so that this window will be activated. You can see this blue color. If you select this, if you click on this area, this window will be activated. So I want to change this 3D view into plan view. For that, you select this area so it is activated. Go to this elevation and then you select along which grid lines you want to make your 2D elevations. So if it is, suppose if you choose the one, the grid line is one is this one, so you can select one and apply. Now you click OK, so you can see the elevation of your building. This is the base level, foundation, and it is a story 1, story 2, story 5, and roof. Okay, and suppose I want to see the plan, elevation, and also 3D view. For that, I want to add one more window. To add the window, go to this arrow bar and then choose add new window. So you can see this window we got the 3D view. Okay, so now we can also adjust the spacing. Suppose I want to see this 3D view is in bigger, so we can do like this. We can also adjust like this also. So now if you see the plan view, you can see that here it is written plan view roof is equal to 18.4 meters. So any types you can see here in the 3D view. Okay, let me make this is 3D view. This is elevation. First click on apply so that you can see the changes here, then you click on OK. So here you can see the in the 3D we can see the axis x y is in the plan and z is along the elevation. So in the plan view you can see here, so now we are seeing the plan of your building at the roof level, that is equal to 18.4 meters. Suppose if you want to see it in the story 5 or story 4 level, then you select this area so that this window will be activated. You can see in the blue color, then you click on this down arrow. So if you now you are in the lower level 15.05 meter, like that you can go to the further lower story 4, 3, 2, 1, and now we are at the base level. So you can see the elevation here. So you can also see some of the tools. Here we have a tools, the pan. So if you select this one, so now I can move our model. Select this one. Now we can move the model. And another tool we have is the rotate. It is active only in the 3D view. So activate the 3D view. Now this is active. So select that one, and I can rotate the 3D view. So now only the grid view is there. So we will see these options after modeling our building structure. Okay. So now we have to tell the types, what are the material properties of our buildings. So we have to define the materials and we have to define the section properties in terms of dimensions. For that, first look at what are the materials we have to use. So we are using M25 for beams and slab, M30 grade of concrete for the columns, and for the reinforcement we are using Fe415, HYSD bar 415 for the stirrups, and HYSD bar of 500 megapascal strength, Fe500, that is for the longitudinal bar. So we have to define the materials first. So for that, go to define, go to material properties. Here you will get this window, define materials. You can see some of the materials is already defined, so we need to define our materials, that is M25 M30 grade of concrete, Fe250, Fe500 and Fe415 of steel. For that, go to add new material, and you can select the region. Region is India. Material type is concrete, standard Indian, and grade is M25. Click on OK. So now this material property data window will be opening. This is the properties. You can see the weight per volume, the unit weight in kilonewton per meter cube, and mass density in kilogram per meter cube, Young's modulus, Poisson ratio 0.2. So many properties are there. Don't need to worry about so many input. So mainly for the concrete, mainly we have to give it, we have to check its compressive strength. For that, go to modify or show material property design data, and M25, the cube compressive strength FCK, that is 25. Sometimes it may show the different value, then you have to change that to 25. Then click on OK, and here you can change the density of the concrete, or you can specify the density either in mass density. Then this window you can edit. This window will not be active. If you select specific weight density, you cannot edit this window, and you can edit this value. So for our model, density of concrete is 25 kilonewton per meter cube, so we will be giving the accurate value 25 kilonewton per meter cube. So the remaining things we can keep as it is. So okay, and similarly we have to add M30. So again, go to add new material property, India, region India, material type is concrete, the grade you have to change to M30. Okay, similarly this name is M30, and material type is concrete, isotropic, and this density we can make it 25. And go to the to check the FCK value, go to material property design data, it is 30. If it is different, you change this one to 30. Click on OK. Okay, so now we got M25 and M30. So now we have to define the HYSD bar. For that, again go to add material property, region India, material type is rebar, the rebar not steel, this is for the structural steel sections, so it is for the reinforcement rebar. So we can select HYSD 415. Okay, and here also you can change the name. If you need HYSD 415, you can change to FE415. You can just the type here if you want to change it. So the specific weight density of a steel, let us take it 77 kilonewton per meter cube, and you can check the material property. So HYSD 415, so the yield strength should be 415. If it is showing different, you change it to 415. Then click on OK. Okay, so now similarly add new material, and region is India, material type is rebar, grade of steel is Fe500. Okay, and change the density is 77. Go to property design data, and the yield strength is 500 megapascal. So if it is different, you change that to 500. Then click on OK. Okay, again click on OK. So now we have defined the material properties, that is M25, M30 concrete, and Fe500 and Fe415 steel. Now we have to tell the E types now we have to define the section properties. For that, it is a frame section, so we have to define our beam and column dimensions. For that, go to define and select section properties. So our building is a frame building, so choose the frame sections, and here you can see the some of sections already defined: concrete beam, concrete columns, and some steel section also there. First we will be defining our beam dimensions. For that, either you can go to the add new property, you can select concrete rectangular, it is already rectangular, so don't need to change. Select rectangular sections. What are the dimensions of our beam? So we have the primary beam is 300 by 400 millimeter, and the plinth beam is 300 by 350 millimeter. So we can define these two section dimensions. The property name we can give. So I am giving beam 300 width by 400 depth, and the material you can choose, it is beams are M25 grade and concrete rectangular shape, and depth width of the beam is 300 and depth of the beam is 400. You can see the corresponding changes are, click on enter, you can see the changes here. And now go to modify or show rebar. Because we are designing a beam, so we have to choose this option, design for only for the moment, M3. Okay, so design for the moment. So here we can select the longitudinal bar, what is the grade, that is FE 500, HOSD 500, confinement bar, that is the ties, the stirrups, shear reinforcement, that is HYSD 415. We already discussed the stirrups grade cannot be more than an FE 415. So these details we can keep as it is. So this is the main point. So we have to make sure that we are designing a beam. Okay. So in ETABS we have a local coordinate system. So that, let us discuss that coordinate system in ETABS. So if you take a beam section, something like this, let us take a rectangular beam. It is the span of the beam is running along this direction. So along the length, this coordinate is 1. Okay, and on the cross section we have the coordinate 2 and 3. So this coordinate is 3 3, and this coordinate will be 2 2. Okay, so this 3 is nothing but, like, it is nothing but your neutral axis. So the beam, it is a flexural member, so the moment is acting about the axis 3 3. So we have to design our beam for the moment about 3 3 axis. That is why we have to choose M3. Okay, that is also given in bracket B. So then select OK. Okay, so now we have to define another beam, that is a plane beams. So we have another beam which is a plane beam, the dimension difference 300 by 350. So again you have to define, you can go to add new material, add new property, you can define like this. Also we have another option. So we have some beam, that is a concrete beam. You can select that one and you can modify that, modify or show property. So we can select the property name is, can edit beam 300 width by 350 depth, and the grade of concrete is M25, concrete rectangular, width is 300 and depth is 350 millimeter. Enter, and we can go to modify or show rebar. So design type is M3 design only. Can change the longitudinal bar to 500 and reinforcement confinement bar stirrups, that is 415. Then keep the cover to the longitudinal reinforcement as it is. Okay, the depth is 350, width is 300. Fine. Okay, so now we got the beam dimensions. So if we have more than 2 dimensions for the beam, so all the beams we can add by using add new property. So now we have to, similarly we have to define the columns. We already have a column section, concrete column. You can select that one and you modify that, modify or show property. So we can give the dimensions of column. What are the dimension, that is 300 by 450. 300 by 450, that is the column dimension. The columns are 300 width and 450 width thickness. So we have column dimension 300 by 450. So we can define that in the E-types. So the width is, let us take 300, and depth is 450, and this column property is M30 grade of concrete. Now we can select the reinforcement on the modify or show rebar. So the design type is, we have to design our column for axial force P and biaxial moment M2 M3. Okay, and the longitudinal bars we can select HYSD 500. Confinement, that is a stirrups, shear reinforcement, you can choose HYSD 415. So if your columns are rectangular, then we have to provide the ties, that is the confinement bar, stirrups. And if it's circular columns, we will be getting two options, ties as well as spiral reinforcement also you can provide. So our case it's rectangular column, so only ties option will be there, and we are designing our column, so we have to choose the reinforcement to be designed, this option. Suppose if you are modeling an existing building, then we have to give the reinforcement details. So for that we have to give this option, reinforcement to be checked. For we are not modeling an existing building, that is required for the to assess the earthquake resistance of the buildings and all, we have to do that. So that is a very tedious job, so we are not doing that right now. We are doing the design, so we have to select reinforcement to be designed. So here you can give the cover for the confinement bar. This part is doesn't matter, so if required we will be editing this part while designing our the structural members. Okay, so this part we can keep as it is. You can also give the reinforcement diameter, longitudinal bar size, can give it, and what is the diameter of the stirrups, we can give it here. The diameter of stirrups 8 mm. Okay, so here you can see these are the column dimensions. So we have along the three axes we have three bars, 1 2 3, that is these three. So if we change this 3 to 2, then click on OK, you can see now it has become 2. So we'll keep it this one also as it is 3. So now it will become again 3, 1 2 3. Okay, and this is the number of longitudinal bars along 3 direction 3, along 2 direction we have 5, that is 1 2 3 4 and 5. If we change this one to 4 or 3, it will change accordingly. Okay, and the diameter of bar also I am keeping as it is. The we have the longitudinal bar 20 millimeter, and when you come to the stirrups or the confinement bar ties, that 8 mm bar we are using. And again if you come to the number of confinement bar in 3 directions and 3, so 3 leg stirrups, so it is 3, and along other direction also we are taking 3, so it is called 3 legs. If you make it 2, then it will be 2 leg stirrups. So that part also you keep as it is, and then click on OK. So everything is fine, so again OK. So now your columns are ready. So in our building all the columns are of same dimension, 300 by 450. So I need only one type of column, so again OK. So now beams and columns are defined. So now we have to define the slab. For that again go to define, section properties, slab section. So our case the slab thickness is 165 millimeter. So we have discussed the thickness of slab is 165 millimeter. So we have to define this slab properties in E-tabs. So select slab 1, go to modify or show property, the slab 65 165, that is the name, and the slab material, the slab also grade is M25, and this is the important part, the modeling type we have thin shell, thick shell, membrane and layered. For the building structure, the slabs, the thickness is less compared to its lateral dimensions, width and length. So we cannot take the thick shell. So either we have to model with thin shell or membrane. So our purpose of modeling the slab is only to apply the load. So the slab is not taking any, it is not participating in any lateral load transfer mechanism. So we will be taking the membrane. So here we have two options, thin shell and membrane. The shell means it will have outer plane stiffness. Membrane means it will not have any outer plane stiffness. So if you are not designing the slab, then you can take the membrane, and if you are designing the slab, then you can take the thin shell. So right now I don't want to participate that slab in the load transfer mechanism. The modeling of the slab, the purpose is to apply the loads, so that the slab will be transferring all the loads to the beams and columns, so we can get the moment and shear force in the beams and columns. So we can design them based on the moment and shear force. That is only purpose. So we will be taking the membrane because we are just modeling the slab to apply the load, not we are not designing the slab. So if you are designing the slab, select thin shell. If you are not designing the slab, then you select the membrane. So then you edit the thickness of your slab 165 millimeter, and then click on OK. Again OK. So now we have defined our materials M25 and M30 for the concrete, for the steel Fe415 and Fe500, and after that we have defined beam, columns and slab dimensions. So in the next class we will be discussing in more detail the interface of ETABS, various tools, and also we will be discussing the modeling of the structure. So with this I'll be stopping for today. We'll continue in the next class. Thank you.